Okay. Okay, welcome to the Montgomery County Commission meeting for Tuesday, August 11th. This meeting is being conducted by video conference via Zoom due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This meeting will be live streamed on the county's Facebook page at Montgomery County, will be available on local public access television, DATV, and will be posted on the county's website at www.mcohio.org per guidelines approved by House Bill 197. You want to call us to order, please, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Rice?
Here.
Commissioner Lieberman?
Here.
Commissioner Dodge?
Here. Before we get started on the meeting, I wanted to read a proclamation. It is Child Support Awareness Month. Whereas Montgomery County, Ohio recognizes the important role of many partners to support our children today, to provide them with a stronger future tomorrow, including parents, employers, government agencies, and others. And whereas Montgomery County is committed to working with families to help them overcome barriers to paying child support so that they can provide for their children's basic needs and ensure that their children have sufficient food, clothing, and shelter. And whereas Montgomery County, Ohio is dedicated to investing in our children, their parents, and the Montgomery County Child Support Enforcement Agency and its partners so that our children grow up with the love and support of their parents and communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Montgomery County, Ohio, on this 11th day of August 2020, does hereby recognize August 2020 as Child Support Awareness Month. It's signed by the three commissioners, myself, Judy Dodge, Carolyn Rice, and Debbie Lieberman. So thank you. And first up, we have Paul Gruner, our county engineer.
Good afternoon, commissioners, administrator, ladies and gentlemen out there. We have two resolutions today. The first is 20-1050 to amend the agreement with Eagle Bridge Company for the Kiowee Street Bridge Replacement Project in the city of Dayton and Harrison Township by adding $175,334.46 to the original amount for a revised total of $9,027,928.35 due to change orders. These are the final change orders that will allow us to final the project out. 1051 is to authorize the closing of West Alex Bell Road between Mad River Road and McEwen Road, lasting approximately 120 days for bridge reconstruction.
Move for approval. Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
County Administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the Clerk's Office, we have approval of the minutes of the meeting on August 4th, 2020. Resolution 1052, approval of bills. Resolution 1053, approval of travel and expenses. Both those lists are available in the Clerk's Office.
I move for approval.
I had your mute. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Administrative Services.
Under Administrative Services, we have Resolution 1054, approval of personnel actions, and that list is available in the Clerk's Office. Resolution 1055, authorizing a lease agreement with SAC DRC Master Tenant LLC for 300 parking spaces in the Ribold Building parking garage through December 31st, 2025, with options to renew. This is the organization that is leasing parking spaces, commissioners, on behalf of the arcade. So they will be utilizing our Ribold Building parking garage. So this is a great thing for our community. Resolution 1056, authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the city of Dayton for the submission of a current year 2020 Justice Assistance Grant application in the amount of $137,951. Resolution 1057, authorizing the purchase through a state term contract from Murphy Tractor and Equipment Company of one 2020 John Deere four-wheel excavator for the Environmental Services Department in an amount not to exceed $287,655. Resolution 1058, authorizing the purchase through an Omnia cooperative contract from Dude Solutions, Inc. for a renewal of the computerized maintenance management system, CMMS, for facilities management at a cost of $23,307.34 through July 31st, 2021. Resolution 1059, reject the bids for the court secure entrances and parking project and re-advertise at a future date to be determined.
I move for approval.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Environmental Services.
Under Environmental Services, we have Resolution 1060, release 100% of the cash surety with Tyler Technologies, Inc., and the subdividers contract for the Tyler Technologies Water Main Extension Project. We have Resolution 1061, accept the 20% performance bond for the Y-Stone Section 5 development in an amount of $32,400. We have several amend agreements. Resolution 1062, Prime AE Group for preparation of detailed construction plans and specifications for Sheldon 12-inch water main replacement project by adding $9,696 to the original amount for a revised total of $53,252 due to a change in the scope of work. We have Resolution 1063, American Suncraft Company, Inc., for construction of the Centerville South Tank Rehabilitation Project by adding $69,770 to the original amount for a revised total of $1,726,770. We also have two permanent easement deeds. One is permanent and one is temporary. The first is accept permanent easement deeds from Centerville Washington Park District for sewer lines in connection with the Terrence Villa Sanitary Sewer Improvements Project and approve agreements for payment of $1 and authorize the auditor to issue warrants in that amount. Resolution 1064, partial ID 068-001-12-0018, and Resolution 1065, partial ID 068-001-02024. We also have two temporary easement deeds from Centerville Washington Park District for sewer lines in connection with Terrence Villa. Resolution 1066, partial ID 068-001-12-0018, and Resolution 1067, partial ID 068-001-02024.
I move for approval.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, Human Services.
Under Human Services, Commissioners, under Human Services Planning and Development, we have Resolution 1068, accept a grant from Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services, OMOS, for family-centered services and support for multi-need children and youth in an amount not to exceed $86,935 and for state fiscal year 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Comments by County Administrator.
Commissioners, I'd just like to give a shout out for the hard work that the Office of CARES Act is doing along with our community partners. Miami Valley Community Action Partnership has received more than 5,000 applications for rent and utility assistance alone. And we have also released programs along rent and mortgage and utility. And the wave of applications is now starting to come in, and the team out at the Business Solutions Center are processing. So I just wanted to say thank you for that hard work. They're getting much needed resources, both on the business side and for individual people into the community.
Okay, any comments by by the County Commissioners?
Well, I can jump in. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our team at the Human Services Planning and Development Department. And they've been working with our partners agencies to serve those at risk of losing their housing or experiencing homelessness. And, you know, this is a impact of the COVID that is nationwide, and it's really a huge concern, and they're on top of it as best any of us can be. They've been sharing information about the housing and grant programs far and wide that Michael, you just mentioned. But I'll say again, if anyone out there, either yourself or anyone you know is having trouble making rent or paying your utilities or your mortgage payment, please contact mcohiocares.org and look into it. If you're eligible, that's what it's there for, to help. So we want to use every single penny of this funding to help our community. So if you're in a good space that you don't need it, but you know others, please, please, please help us spread the word. Finally, the team's been reaching out to these local nonprofits to encourage them also to apply for assistance from the Office of CARES Act, because we recently announced that specific fund just for nonprofits, because we know that the nonprofits provide such essential complementary services to the very things that we do and the goals that we have to really help people in our community always, but certainly during this pandemic, get through these tough times and not suffer any more than they absolutely have to. And these same agencies, just like us, have experienced a huge increase in demand for their services. So this money through the CARES Act is specifically meant to help buoy up those kinds of organizations providing such important service here locally. So we want to support their work, and that's why it's so important. So we're going to sound like constant video recordings each week saying this, because until the end of the year and until every penny is out and distributed, we're going to keep reminding you through this opportunity. So help us help others. And that's all I have for this week.
Okay, well, I have a few things as well. One of the things we just recently did was launch our the next door neighbors. I think neighborhoods have had these all over the country. I know I enjoy ours because it kind of geofences around your neighborhood, your city, your townships. And so it's a networking service called Nextdoor, and it's real easy to sign up for. It is a free website, and it's also, you can get it on your smartphones. And what it does, it allows now the county to provide updates on things that are happening, whether it's at the Animal Resource Center or, for example, a lost dog in the neighborhood. You see a lot of that on Nextdoor, but now the Animal Resource Center will be able to blast that out. So all kinds of things, whether there's construction on a particular street, your street's gonna be closed, there's a water main break, all kinds of things. And so we're really looking forward to having this available so that we can do updates simply. So that, look for that in your community. The other thing, I know it sounds like a broken record too, but we know that masks, we know this, science shows it, that masks can help prevent the spread of coronavirus. You know, all of Southwest Ohio now is off the red list, except for us. So Montgomery County. And Hamilton County credits people wearing masks that, you know, they're slowing down the spread. So we need to continue to work on it. And this week, our mascot Kirby the Cardinal, will be participating in what's called a mascots initiative. And what that will do will just raise the awareness about the importance of wearing face masks to protect each other. So that look for Kirby. I'm sure he'll have a lot of fun doing that. And then also we're going to continue giving away free face masks in several different locations. Public Health is being kind enough to do this. And I think maybe one of you commissioners went out the other day. We have 3 more opportunities. The first one will be this Friday, August 14th at St. Luke Missionary Baptist Church. And then 2 times next week, the 17th at Mount Olive Baptist Church, and the 24th at St. Paul United Methodist Church the following week. So those will be on our website, also on Public Health's website. And their public health website is www.phdmc.org. That's it for me.
Good. All right. Thank you. And I have to give a shout out again to our partner agencies at CAP, the Community Action Program. My gosh, 5,000 applications to get help with rental assistance. You know, the need is so desperate out there, and it's just going to continue to get worse with the unemployment benefits being cut. So, and our home ownership center has also been administering the programs and processing these applications as well. So I understand a lot of the utilities are also contacting their customers in case they need help with paying their utilities. So, you know, we're all working together to try to help our community as much as we possibly can. So I want to give a shout out to all of our partners. And the last thing is that, you know, we're time is getting of the essence here with our census count. Please, Montgomery County is one of the least counties that are actually getting responses. And please, if anybody's watching this, please take time to answer the questions for the census, because it is so important to our community. Millions and millions of dollars could be lost if we do not add to our population. And I know that we are experiencing a great growth here in Montgomery County. So please don't hesitate to fill out the application or answer the questions that the census individuals are coming around and trying to get you to sign up for the census. So with that, if there's nothing else, our next meeting will be Tuesday, the 18th at 1:30 right here on Zoom. So thank you. I think we adjourn.
It's adjourned.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
There's Joe.
Are we off?
So Joe, we're still on Facebook Live. Joe Durr with Engineers.
Oh, okay. All right. Now we have the Whip Road Bridge Replacement Project. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Joe Durr is our project manager on this, so Joe's back again for a viewing on this project.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Paul. Emily, do I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes, you can go ahead.
All right. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Make sure, there we go. All right, commissioners, administrator, thank you very much. This is the viewing for the Whip Road Bridge Replacement Project. This bridge is located in the intersection of Whip Road and Seton Hill Street in Washington Township, just west of State Route 48, north of 675. Looking at an aerial image of the project site, you can see the intersection of Whip Road and Seton Hill. The north is up on your screen. So the southeast corner, that heavily wooded parcel is actually a Centerville, Washington Township park. And then immediately to the east of that is John Holes Elementary School. The rest of the adjoining properties are all single unit residential homes. Overall scope of the project, it's to replace the existing bridge. The bridge structure itself in this particular job, it's a corrugated metal pipe arch. There will be pedestrian improvements done as part of this project. When we originally began looking at this bridge replacement, speaking with the township, there was a strong desire for sidewalk to be installed along the south side of Whip Road from Seton Hill Street past the park parcel to the school. And after looking at funding and costs, we realized that we could incorporate that into the project. With the pedestrian improvements, with that sidewalk, there'll be some minor storm sewer improvements to accommodate that work. And then there'll be some, on the south side of the road, some guardrail will be modified. On the north side of the road, the guardrail will be placed back as it currently is. We've made some minor modifications to it to accommodate a property owner on the north side that we've been in contact with, and I'll discuss that further. But there will be some removal of that property owner's private improvements, specifically a stone wall that is within the existing highway easement in conflict with some of the proposed work, which presents as a hazard to the traveling public. Also, due to the work, the rip up and replacement of the existing bridge with the work along the south side of the road for the new sidewalk, we will mill and resurface Whip Road within the vicinity. And then finally, in coordinating with Environmental Services, who currently has a project on Seton Hill Street, a water line replacement with some road improvements with Washington Township, we have coordinated the, let's say, the finishing of that Seton Hill project to actually occur during and coordinated with our bridge replacement project. So we've incorporated some water work into this bridge replacement in an effort working together with Environmental Services. So the driving factor of this job, again, is the structure itself. The original structure was built in 1953. It was extended to the south in '89 due to widening of Whip Road, adding a turn lane. The current condition of this bridge, of this pipe arch, it's a general appraisal of 3. That's out of the highest ranking is a 9. A 0 is there is no bridge anymore. So the condition of this bridge is getting pretty severe. One of the elements that you can see in this image, you're actually seeing jets of water pumping up through the invert of this pipe. The invert's very corroded, and there are springs throughout this particular area. So what you see is actually water pressure jetting up, and those springs, depending on how much it rains, they could be shooting up about 8 inches, give or take. Also, adding to the condition of the bridge, there's rusting along the bolt line with some bolt line cracking, and in these metal pipes, same with plastic, there's soil interactive structures. So when you start getting these type of deficiencies, you do need to replace it. So to look at some of the surface condition to see what's going on up on the road, we're on Whip Road looking eastbound at the intersection of Seton Hill Street and Whip Road. Now I'm progressing to the east. I'm past the Seton Hill Street. To the right is the Parcel, which you can see is the mowed shoulder. And then the vegetation on the right is actually, the ground actually rises up. There's a steep back slope. And continuing on, we're coming to the end of the Parcel, and you can see the first drive, the western drive into John Holes Elementary School. And then we've just stepped past that first drive, again, looking eastbound. We're now looking at the John Holes school sign, which will not be impacted as part of this project. And then the western drive, which is the exit of John Holes School, which is actually currently signalized. Now going back, touching on the property on the north side, something that should be noted. The guardrail that's there is due to slope hazard that exists. But another hazard that is there, which is actually a private property issue, is an existing pond. Previous property owner at this particular site built a private dam physically onto the county's structure, all within the existing highway easement. We have spoken with the property owner and are accommodating the pond. Since the slope would already be there, we did the sizing of the structure. The proposed structure is the same size as the existing. We can cut out portions of the existing inlet structure, slip a new one in with not that much effort in the construction side. And that allows us to just keep the dam as is and therefore keep the pond, since the pond is protected by the guardrail, which is already there due to the slope. As I stated, some of the other private property issues that are within the existing highway easement that do present as a hazard to the traveling public, such as the stone wall, will need to come out because they are in conflict with the guardrail, as well as the some water line work. Anything that is outside the limits of the work, not a hazard, though they may be in the existing highway easement, we're accommodating for those. We're allowing them to stay. Now moving to the south side, the first parcel, what we're going to be talking about here is temporary easements that are going to be needed from the Centerville, Washington Township Park District, as well as the Centerville School District, specifically in front of the John Hole School. So starting with the Park District, they are immediately in the southeast quadrant of the intersection of Seton Hill and Whip Road. In the image you see here, that the area in blue is strictly a temporary easement. North is up on your screen. Whip Road runs left to right. So looking at a photo, again, to the right, you can see the heavy, dense vegetation with that hill going up off the edge of the road. What we predominantly need, if you can see my mouse, I'll use it as a cursor, we'll be cutting some trees out. And what we have to do is, to be able to fit that sidewalk in, we need to regrade that south side of the road, the south shoulder, which will have from the edge of pavement, there'll be a curb and gutter installed. There'll be a 5-foot grass strip as a buffer between the edge of the road, and then a 5-foot sidewalk. And then we'll have to cut in. So what the temporary is for is strictly for grading purposes, to be able to accommodate that new sidewalk. With the school being right there, we anticipated more families and children using this particular stretch of sidewalk. So we wanted to make sure we matched the remaining portion of Whip Road and kept a 5-foot grass strip between the road and the sidewalk, which creates that grading, which is why we're needing this temporary. And moving to the east, this is the elementary school. This is John Hole School. We're going to continue that new sidewalk along the frontage of the school and actually tie into existing walk off to the east on Whip Road. This temporary easement is strictly due to physical size of the vehicles, the construction equipment, so we can build the sidewalk. Here we're standing in the eastern driveway of John Hole School, looking back west toward the bridge. You can see the grass is relatively flat, so we're not really going to change any grading out here. We're just going to put in a new sidewalk. The sidewalk that you do see right up here at the front, that'll be modified slightly to tie into that new sidewalk. And again, the school sign itself will not be impacted. So the scope, as shown here, is just to put in a new sidewalk, the temporary strictly for constructability purposes, physical size of equipment. Going into the costs, the design of the project, all the design, whether it was the water line, that was done by environmental services, or the bridge and the sidewalk, that was done by the engineer's office. All that was in-house. Construction of the project is estimated to be about $523,000. And then we have been successful in receiving a grant through the Ohio Public Works for just under $346,000. So for project schedule, we've completed the design. We are now entering into the right-of-way phase of the project. We hope to award a contract in February of 21 and immediately then start construction in March, wrapping up in May. Now for this project, the road, actually the intersection of Whip Road and Seton Hill Street will need to be closed. So when you close intersections, the detours look a little more complicated because of the Seton Hill element. The traffic on Seton Hill will be detoured out to Alex Bell, then over the Mad River, back up to Whip. And then for the Whip closure, it's Mad River to Ron Road to State Route 48 back to Whip. So that the darker line, you can see here's the Seton Hill, and then up Mad River all the way to Ron for the Seton and Whip Road detour. And with that, if anyone has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Questions?
Have the residents all been notified that it will be affected, I assume? And
Yes, ma'am.
They're
We've
signing
sent
off.
out multiple letters to all adjoiners. We've been in contact, as I said, with the property owner on the north, though all of the work is within the existing highway easement. Due to the private improvements in the easement that may or will be affected, we wanted to notify them of that. And then we've been in contact with the Park District as well as we did talk to the principal at John Hole School. Yes.
Okay, good.
Right, no questions for me.
Thank you all
Okay.
very much.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
the full viewing will be next Tuesday after our commission meeting on August 18th.
The hearing,
The hearing, I'm sorry, the hearing.
we'll be open to testimony from the public at that time.
Right, yeah, okay.
Thank you, commissioners.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Mhm,
Bye.
bye.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you very much, Paul. Emily, you should have your screen back.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right. Goodbye.
Thanks.